Hello, today is February 27th, 2026, and today is the 10th day of Lent. This morning got up later because it's my day off, and so slept until 7, and then got up, got ready, and did my hour meditation, and today's sit was good. I dropped in pretty quickly, and I kept my eyes closed for the entire hour, but definitely was lost in long bouts of thought, and really didn't spend. I spent very little time, like, fully meditating on the fruit of the Spirit, which I've said this 1,000 times before, but just for context, I sit in silence and stillness, eyes closed. I breathe. I pay attention to the sensation of my breath as I'm breathing, and with each inhale, I have a mantra of saying one of the fruit of the Spirit, starting with love, and with each breath, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. And that is a diligent practice, and I was not very diligent today. However, the point is to sit, and I did that, and I stayed in it for the hour. I did not look at the time, and I also did, by the very, very end, the spiritual joy that tingles my face into a smile came. Then I carried that on to the coffee shop, and I journaled for a bit, and then, actually, before I did that, I got up and recorded my 5 episodes of Poets and Saints for next week, and then went to the coffee shop and edited those. Then I stayed there till about 1, just kind of sitting there. One thing I did do was I put in a deposit for the new Ugreen NAS AI server that I'm hoping by the time that it comes to actually buy it, that I will have come up with the funds to do so. It's way more expensive than what I was intending to spend, and if I don't do it, I don't know if I can get my $30 back, but losing $30 is cheaper. So the reason I did it is because $900 off to reserve it. So the $30 saves me $900 if I want to spend the $1,000 to actually buy it. So, and the $1,000 NAS server is about $600 more expensive than what I was expecting to spend on a NAS. But I do what this new version is. It's built for artificial intelligence and the AI. Like contextualizing the photos and all the media that's on it. It will read the photos, and if I wanted to search Oklahoma Lake 2017, it would pull up all of the photos that it is, one, that have a lake in it in 2017, and then if it is geotagged, the ones that are in Oklahoma. and a lot more features, but the that would be, I think it would be worth it to go ahead and just do to get the top of the line now so that I am future proofed for as long as, possible. And the features it adds, it really does give me some things that I'm really going to want for my website archive. So anyways, put a $30 deposit on that. And also somebody messaged me on Facebook to purchase the large printer that my grandpa gave me, that it's going to cost like $1,200 to $1,500 to even get that thing running. And so I don't have that. And then even if I did, material cost and what I'm using it for, it's like, it is more beneficial to me to just get some cash out of it. And I'm only selling it for $500, which, I was hoping to get closer to like $700 to $900. Obviously, I'd like to get as much as possible, but it's worth what somebody will pay, and somebody's willing to pay $500. So there's that. That gets me close to being able to pay for the NAS server. But what it doesn't do, and what's unfortunate, is just getting the NAS server doesn't get me the hard drives to put into it. And so that could easily be another $1,000. I can start cheaper than that and just get 1 or 2 drives to get all my media on there, and then add as I need more space and as I want to back up. But there's 8 bays in this, so that does allow me to expand. But I would have to at least get a couple drives, because right now I need 4, 8, 16, 20, 24, no, 22. Yeah, I think I need at least 22 terabytes in order to get all of my external hard drives backed up and onto one system. So to begin with, I need to, like, bare minimum, I'm going to need 25 terabytes, I suppose, 22 to 25. I mean, that would be bare minimum 22, but I don't want to immediately be full and not be able to put anything else on it. So it's like 30 terabytes is really what I need to start with. But anyways, that's on my mind. So I did not read today, or I haven't read yet, I suppose. But yeah, it's like I'm getting into the rhythm of reading, but it's definitely not an everyday rhythm yet. It's reading is a specific energy that I can be disciplined and say, you're using this time to read. But if I'm reading and I'm not really even comprehending the words because I'm not in the right energy for it, then it may not be a waste of time, because just the act of doing it, even though I'm not comprehending, may be doing something. But at the same time, I want to actually know what I'm reading, so I can so that I get the fruit out of it, out of the story, or whatever it is. So anyways, last night, this was pretty cool. So there's an actor, Tim Blake Nelson, who, my favorite thing that he is in is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. And if you have not seen The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, it's on Netflix. It's Coen Brothers, or maybe just one, maybe just Ethan Coen. And it is a series of short films about um, different things. But he is in Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and he is so good. The whole thing is so good. He's also in the Coen Brothers film "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," which I guess that's where a lot of people know him from. He's also in a bunch of other things, but I didn't even know this. He's from Tulsa, and he graduated at Holland Hall, and and also a gallerist. I forget his first name, but Hewlett has the Hewlett collection, which I've heard. Like, I follow the Hewlett collection online, not even knowing that he's from Tulsa. He is also from Tulsa, and they've been doing a little tour here in town. All week they've been going to different spots, and they have a gallery opening tomorrow for Roger Deakins' new photography show. And also he's promoting his newest book, Roger Deakins is. And also Tim Blake Nelson is promoting his book. So I think it's like a book tour situation going on. And I mean, it worked because I bought 3 books, and I wouldn't have bought them if they wouldn't have done this. But Roger Deakins is a cinematographer, and he is a brilliant and beautiful cinematographer. And anyways, they did a talk Q&A situation at Holland Hall yesterday, and went to that, and it was awesome hearing them talk. And also to be, these are types of things that happen all the time in large cities, but to be like, oh yeah, on this Thursday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I can go see this Oscar nominated, I think he's Oscar nominated, but anyway, I can go see this actor, director, writer, and cinematographer, filmmaker, photographer, who are like, Roger Deakins was a cinematographer for like True Grit and No Country for Old Men and The Big Lebowski and many, many others. Just so good. And for them to be in Tulsa and to do a talk, it was quite awesome. One of the things that Tim Blake Nelson talked about was he was asked a question, and in the answer to the question, he kind of got on his own philosophical tangent, which was pretty cool about the whole thing. Is they all kind of got off on philosophical tangents, which was the parts that I love the most. And Tim was the most philosophical of them, and he got into this, a little bit of explanation on Socrates and Plato, and who's the third one? Aristotle. I think that's right. And Plato's in the middle, Aristotle and Socrates. I think it goes Socrates was first. Plato was his student. Plato wrote down the Socrates conversations that they were having. Then Plato's student is Aristotle, and yeah, they just the philosophy train of that. But anyways, I may have that wrong, but the point was that Socrates believed that we are ascending to the the realm of forms, which the spiritual realm is the the higher order, the spiritual realm outside of our own ego, outside of our meat bag built self, and this temporal thing that we're all caught up in. But ultimately, in this life, we are moving towards and ascending to the realm of forms, or the spiritual realm. And he believed that art was a minimization of, it's like it's mirroring a less than version of the realm of forms. And so while we're pointing upward and moving that way, that art is actually below us and holding us back from moving towards the realm of forms, because we're looking backward at the trying to find the right word that is, it's like the minimization, the lesser than version, the I want to, there's the right word and I'm not finding it. And but anyways, that gets to the point of the lesser than version is we're being distracted by it, and it's keeping us from the realm of forms. Plato uh, didn't believe that, and believed that art isn't behind us, it's actually just ahead of us, before the realm of forms. And it, that art and artist, they distill the realm of forms into a digestible and knowable version that points us upward to climb and strive our way to the realm of forms, versus a diminished version of the realm of forms that we're distracted by, and it's keeping us from climbing. It's turning our heads and looking backward. And then he did get into the Aristotle, Plato's student. He moved that conversation even further, or added to it, but I don't remember what that part was, because what I really remember was just as he was talking about Aristotle's view that art diminished the realm of forms and was behind us and distracted us the whole time. I was like, no, that's not right. It's ahead of us. Like I was thinking this and feeling this, that no, that isn't correct. And then he goes into Plato, and that artist and art are a higher spiritual calling, and that they have their place in pulling all of humanity upward and toward the spiritual realm. And I'm like, yes, snaps from me. Because that is exactly what I believe. And I don't believe that because I've read Plato. I believe that because that's what I experience. That's what I know. That's the life that I live. That is my, ultimately, that is just my philosophy, because I know the realm of forms. The realm of forms is the mystery of the universe, the voice of God, and all that it is that I know about the spiritual realm, then everything that I know about creation and bringing order to chaos and using um, the gift that the realm has given me to see at the bleeding edge of what it is to be known in consciousness and create out of that so that I myself can move towards the realm of forms. And then as I share that, maybe the things that I create turn people's heads and make them feel something or question something or bring a little bit of order in the chaos of their lives that turn their gaze toward not the art themselves, not the art itself, but through the art itself into the realm of forms and ultimately meaning the love of God. And that, yes, and amen. Yes and amen. Also, I decided that for my birthday this year, I'm actually going to do it. Pull the trigger. I was going to say pull the plug, but I think pulling the plug is a opposite metaphor. I'm going to pull the trigger on this, something I've wanted to do since 2019. I have had the idea that has turned into a desire, I suppose, of getting knuckle tattoos. And the knuckle tattoos will say yes, ampersand, yes, and amen. Because that's my philosophy. That's the way I want to live my life. I want to live my life open-handed, palms open, saying yes and amen to the realm of forms and everything that it is, speaking and guiding me into the next right thing. And I don't know where it's going to end up. All I know is the next right thing. And to the next right thing, I say yes and amen. And I think for my birthday this year, my 37th birthday, I am going to get it done. I always like to batch tattoos because it's a little bit, they're part of the cost of a tattoo is the setup time and, all of everything that's involved in getting the time taken to get a client into the chair is built into the tattoo. And so if you just get the one, you have to pay for all that setup time plus the tattoo time. But if you batch it, it's cheaper because then the setup time is split amongst multiple tattoos. So right here in this space, I want to get my grandma's chair or just a chair to represent my grandma's chair. And that is just the next sticker in my sticker book of the ways that God has moved, spoken, and guided me in my life. And the chair is to represent whenever I was 5 years old-ish, being alone in my grandparents' living room, and I felt it was the first time that I heard the voice of God, and the voice of God said, go behind that chair and ask Jesus into your heart. And I did that. I felt it, and then I went about playing and doing whatever a 5-year-old does. But that moment, nobody else is in the room. It just happened. I did it. I didn't even tell anybody about it for years, years and years. But it is burned into my memory, and it is one of the stories of God speaking to me that I want to add to my tattoo collection. So I want to I haven't decided exactly what the chair is going to look like, but I'm thinking like the grandma's chair from the movie Up, that kind of shape is what I'm going to go with. But yeah, the philosophy talk, that also made me buy this book, just because everything that he said, he is a much deeper thinker, and the way he talked about how he wrote this book is, I don't know when I'm going to get around to reading it. I have so many things to read, but I wanted to, it's like a souvenir, first and foremost, of like, this is a physical artifact of a night that I loved. It's like buying a record at a concert. And so bought this, and also bought both of Roger Deacon's books, and both of these are signed by him and his wife and creative partner James Deacons, which I've never met a woman named James, so was another interesting thing. But this new one, Reflections, is kind of a memoir, but also it's like stories along in his life, starting from the earliest, but then towards the end, you get into actual, like, the movies that he's made or shot. And it has screen grabs and even diagrams that he's written. And then I'm guessing that in the text he's just written about working on the film, and I'm not for sure, if it's technical or personal or what, but just whenever I opened it up and I saw just these beautiful screen grabs and drawings, I was like, okay, I'm getting that. And then I also got his photography book, because I love photography and I love photography books. But to have both of his books signed is pretty awesome. And then tomorrow I'm going to go to his photography show. I already have his book signed, so I don't need to have him sign it. Tim Blake Nelson did not sign his book, but I don't think he'll be at the photography show because doesn't have anything to do with him. However, unfortunately, it's sold out. Tonight at Circle Cinema, they are doing a screening of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and doing a pre-film Q&A talk with both Roger Deakins, the cinematographer, and Tim Blake Nelson, the actor. And so that would have been awesome, but I didn't know about it till yesterday, and it was already sold out. So, yeah. That's that. Today's a very warm day, which is nice. I haven't really spent much time outside, but I'm about to, because here in a little bit, I'm going to go to Mercury Lounge Happy Hour and enjoy the weather. This will be my first time since Lent began that I'm going out where to a place where normally I would have a beer, that I'm not going to be able to have a beer. So, not that I've done this before many times, because I've given up alcohol not every Lent, but the last 3 Lents, that has been part of my Lent, is not doing alcohol. However, what makes this Lent a little bit different is in all the previous years, I on Sunday I would drink, because Sundays are the mini Easters on the way to Easter, and you feast. You break your Lent fast on Sundays, and so I participated in that last year. But this year I decided that whenever it comes to alcohol, I'm just going to go straight through to Easter. But yeah, so go have a Topo Chico and dance my little booty off. That's what I plan to do. Yep, that's all I can think of to say. I guess after we went and saw the Q&A, we went to Cooper Monica's apartment with like probably at least 8 other people, ate tacos and sang karaoke, and I sang The Little Mermaid. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat?